Hi there, this is Vadim from Online Training for Everyone. And in this video, I'll share with you how to pass an assessment test and get you hired for your dream job. When companies are hiring, very frequently, HR and hiring managers would like to test the candidate to make sure candidate possesses the skills and knowledge that will make him successful in the job. To determine the answer, employers use a computerized assessment tests to assess candidates' skills and experience relevant to the job. Assessment tests are also helpful to determine candidates' potential and make sure a new hire makes the right decisions on the job. Most of the test consists of multiple choice questions, where you as a candidate are presented with the question and you need to find and select the answer based on the choices presented. Typical assessment test consists of multiple questions, and most of the times test is timed, which means that you need to complete the test within predefined time frame. There are different types of questions used to assess the candidate's skills based on the position you're applying for. In this video, I'll share with you sample mechanical aptitude test questions, engineering test questions, cognitive abilities test, verbal reasoning, personality, work simulation, leadership, and a lot of other types of questions we frequently see on the test. In this video, you will have everything you need to get prepared for an assessment test. Make sure to watch this video from the beginning to end, and if necessary, multiple times until you understand all the questions and know how to solve them easily. If you would like to practice with the most recent questions for the assessment, please make sure to follow the link in the description and in comments of this video. And now, let's go ahead and get started so we can get you prepared. Consider the school 3x4 matrix. The first row in the matrix has numbers 6, 2, 8, and 4. The second one has numbers 2, 1, 2, and 2. And then the third row has numbers 3, 2, 4, and then comes the missing number, which you need to calculate and select your answer out of 4 possible choices: A1, B2, C3, or D4. Can you try to solve it on your own and choose the right answer? As you might have guessed, the pattern here is simple, but only if you're looking at it from the right perspective. But I'm confident you're one of the few who can. Instead of looking at the rows, take a look at the column. The numbers in the first column are 6, 2, and 3. 3 multiplied by 2 equals 6. In fact, the top number in each column is calculated by multiplying the numbers beneath it. Let's look at the second column. 2 multiplied by 1 equals 2. Third column, 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. And then in the fourth column, missing number multiplied by 2 equals 4. Which means that to calculate the missing number, you need to divide 4 by 2, and the result is 2. And the correct answer here is choice B, 2. Shopping mess time. Ever wonder how tax sneaks into your final bill? Let's find out with this quick problem. You're buying a jacket that costs $80. The sales tax, 8.5%. So what is the total you actually pay? Let's run through the numbers, and no need to panic, it's just a little percentage math. Here's how you solve it. 8.5% of $80 is $6.80. Add this to the price, and you will get final answer, $86.80. That's how tax adds up. Now you won't be surprised at the checkout. Guess what? It's time for math with pens and pencils. It's all about comparing costs and splitting things fairly. Here's what we told. 3 pencils cost as much as 2 pens. And 1 pen costs $2. So, what's the price of 1 pencil? Here's the trick. 2 pens cost $4 total. That's what 3 pencils cost. So just divide that $4 by 3. And boom, each pencil costs $1.33. The final answer is choice C. Pen or pencil, it pays to break things down. It's time for a quick visual logic challenge. Can you spot the sequence that breaks the pattern? Here's the rule. Every time you see a dark shape, the one after must be light. Simple, right? Look closely through each sequence. A and B follow the rule. D ends with the dark shape, no problem. But C starts with the dark shape and then another dark shape. That is the rule breaker. That's why C is the correct answer. 2 dark shapes in a row? Can't have that.
keep it light after dark. It's time for a clever code track. Can you reverse the shift? The word risk becomes QHRJ. Using the same rule, what does gain become? Each letter in the word risk steps one spot back. Start with the letter G in the word gain. G becomes F, A becomes Z, I becomes H, and N becomes M. That gives us FZHM, and the correct answer here is choice C, FZHM. Sometimes you gotta step back to move forward. Let's decode a cash-to-bank mystery. What happens when each letter levels up? If the word cash becomes DBTI, following a consistent rule, what does bank become? Did you detect the pattern? If the word cash, CASH, becomes DBTI, every letter shifts forward by one. Same game applies to bank. B becomes C, A becomes B, N becomes O, and K becomes L. This gives us the word CBOL, and the correct answer here is choice B, CBOL. Do you think your reading skills are sharp? Let's test your logic with this real word passage. This one is about sleep and how it might affect your mood. Recent surveys show that people who sleep fewer than 6 hours per night are more likely to report feeling anxious or depressed. Experts suggest that consistent sleep deprivation may alter brain chemistry and affect emotional regulation. Based on this information, which of the following is most likely to be true? A. Sleeping more than 6 hours causes anxiety. B. Sleep deprivation can harm mental health. C. All people with depression sleep less than 6 hours. Or D. Emotional regulation is unrelated to sleep. Can you try to solve it on your own? To get to the answer, let's work through this logically. This passage does not say sleeping more causes anxiety, so A is out. It says people who sleep less tend to report anxiety and depression, and that sleep loss might alter brain chemistry and emotional control. That supports mental health impact, making B strong. C goes too far. All people is an exaggeration not supported by the passage. D contradicts the text. It clearly connects emotional regulation with sleep. So the best answer? Choice B, sleep deprivation can harm mental health. It is directly supported by the facts in the passage. Always remember, reading comprehension is all about evidence, not assumptions. Stack up your brain power. Here's the visual riddle. How many blocks will be in the force figure? Watch closely. Each shape grows by adding a new row. First has 1 block, then 2 more, then 3 more. What's next? Yep, 4 blocks added to the pile. So the total is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10 blocks. And the correct answer here is choice D, 10. It's all about building layer by layer. In this question, you're presented with 6 letters, and you need to build an English word. The letters are T, O, P, A, L, P. Here are 2 caveats though. You need to use each letter only once, and you only have about 10 seconds. Let's get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because you would be amazed how simple the answer actually is. In fact, what is compact, a foldable device combining a screen and a keyboard designed for versatile computing and productivity on the go? The answer is laptop. Let me spell it for you. Laptop. And the device is actually extremely cool. And almost everyone used it at least one point in their lives. I hope you got it right. But you might ask, what if I didn't? Try this question to see how you would do. You're presented with 6 letters, and you need to build a word by using each letter only once. The letters are F, O, F, E, D, E. And to make sure you get it 100%, here's the hint for you. It's a morning drink with caffeine. And once you're certain with your answer, post it in comments, and I'll give you my feedback. Good luck with this intriguing challenge. Here's a very cool problem which is designed to boost your cognitive skills. You're presented with 5 numbers, 2, 4, 8, 12, and 16. and you need to determine which number doesn't belong. To help you give it your best effort, let's set a goal. Your goal is to fully understand the question and lock in your answer before time runs out. Once you're ready, we'll reconnect on the other side and review it together. Let's get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because the solution here is very, very simple. You typically solve these types of problems in 2 steps. In step number 1, you look for patterns in the numbers. And in step 2, you identify the number which breaks the pattern. Let's first examine the sequence for common mathematical patterns. What are those? Multiplication, consistent increases, or powers. If we think it's multiplication, we need to multiply it by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. So far so good, right? But it breaks here. 8 multiplied by 2 would be 16. Which might be a solution since number 12 doesn't belong, right? And the correct answer would be choice D. But I thought of this a little differently. I thought of it as powers of 2. 2 in power of 1 equal 2, which is the first number. 2 in power of 2 is 4. 2 in power of 3 is 8. And 2 in power of 4 is 16. Which also leads us to the answer that choice D is the odd one. So the correct answer here is choice D, 12. In this question, you're presented with analog clock, which shows current time. And you need to do the calculations for the time adjustment to determine the new time. If the clock is set back by 1 hour and 20 minutes, what would be the new time? Your choices for the answers are choice A, 1:55 p.m., choice B, 1:45 p.m., choice C, 1:25 p.m., and choice D, 1:35 p.m. Are you ready? Let's get started. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I hope so, because the solution, as well as the way of solving these types of challenges, is surprisingly simple. In fact, you can solve this problem in 3 simple steps. Step 1, understanding it. Step 2, subtracting it in 2 steps. And step 3, check in your work. Let's solve this problem step by step. Let's start with the given time. I didn't tell you, but the clock shows 3:15 p.m. You might say this is obvious, but this is not necessarily so. We're getting used to checking the time on our phones or other digital devices. And to understand the time on analog clock, we need to know 3 important things. There are 3 arrows on the analog clock, and they're called hands, and they have specific names based on their function. Hour hand, which is the shorter hand and indicates the current hour. Minute hand, which is a little longer and shows the current minute. And then there's a second hand, which is optional in some clocks, and which is the thinnest and longest hand, which tracks seconds. Take a look at the positioning of these hands on this particular clock, and the exact time is 3:15 p.m. I think we're done with the step 1. Now let's move to step 2. We need to subtract time in 2 steps. First, let's subtract 1 hour from 3:15. Then subtract 20 minutes from the result to find the new time. 3:15 minus 1 hour equals 2:15. And then subtracting the minutes, 2:15 minus 20 minutes equals 1:55 p.m. You need to do a little bit of the mental math here to calculate the minutes, ensuring that you count backwards carefully without skipping any steps. Have you considered how to solve this problem for digital clock? For an analog clock, you visualize time changes by moving the hands backward, while for digital clock, you calculate changes numerically, adjusting hours and minutes directly. Well, regardless of which time device it is, I think the answer is the same. It is choice A, 1:55 p.m. When answering this question, picture yourself as an expert mapping out the financial plan. Every option you weigh, every decision you make, strengthen your blueprint for achieving your financial goals. You're presented with the statement, and you need to determine the missing word in this statement. Profit is to loss, as a revenue is to... And then comes the missing word, which you need to select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, income. Choice B, expense. Choice C, sales. And last but not least, choice D, investment. Well, it feels like our financial plan is almost there, but it's missing a sprinkle of magic. Let me toss a quick tip to make sure your goals don't just reach the finish line, they cross it doing a victory dance. Take a close look at the relationship between profit and loss. Could it be that the relationship between the words in each pair is one of the opposites or counterparts in financial terminology? I think you've got it now. Give yourself some time to work on the last few steps, verify your answers, and let's reconnect on the other side where your master plan is ready and you're positioned well for wealth generation and growth. Time's up. Are you ready with your answer? I hope you did not select choices A, C, and D, and let me explain you why. Income is closely related to revenue, but it's not the opposite or counterpart. Choice C, sales, is a component of revenue, but not the opposite of it. And choice D, investment, is a financial term, but does not serve as an opposite or counterpart to revenue. Which leads us to expense. And expense is correct because profit is the opposite of loss, just like revenue is the opposite of expense. So the correct answer here is choice B, expense. Our main goal with this question is to help boost your cognitive skills, making you smarter and more intelligent. Try tackling this question on your own before I share my answer and explanations. Give it your best shot and see how close you can get. I know you can do this. You're presented with 4 expressions. 3 multiplied by 374 equals 21. 4 multiplied by 137 equals 82. 5 multiplied by 731 equals 5. And then last one, 3 multiplied by 573 equals the missing number, which you need to calculate and select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 9. Choice B, 10. Choice C, 12. And last but not least, choice D, 16. Time's up. Are you ready to share your answer? To calculate the missing number, you need to multiply first single-digit number by the last digit of the 3-digit number, and then reverse the digits of the resulting product. Let's look at the example to better understand what's happening. The first expression is 3 multiplied by 374 equals 21. To do the actual calculations, we need to take number 3 and then the last digit of the number 374, which is 4. Then you need to multiply 3 by 4 and the result would be 12. And then in the last step, we just need to reverse the digits of the 12. And 12 reversed is 21. Let's look at other expressions to confirm the pattern. 4 multiplied by 137 equals 4 multiplied by 7 and equals 28. 28 reversed is 82. 5 multiplied by 731 equals 5 multiplied by 1 and equals 5. Since 5 is a single-digit number and cannot be reversed, it stays as 5. And, as you might have guessed, this information would be very helpful to calculate the missing number. And guess what? Now is the magic time to calculate the missing number. 3 multiplied by 573 equals 3 multiplied by 3 and equals 9. So the correct answer here is choice A, 9. Admit it or not, but genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. And this is not my quote, this is famously remarked by Thomas Edison. So let's put in the hard work and dedication required to excel in this assessment, knowing that consistent effort leads to greatness. You're presented with 3 shapes. Each shape has smiley face, arrow, and then hexagon. The 4th shape is missing. You need to determine which one to select, and select the 4th shape out of 4 possible choices. Choices A, B, C, and D. This question may seem daunting at first, but I know you have the skills and creativity to tackle it. Trust your abilities and let's explore all the possible solutions together. Let's tackle it as a team. Are you prepared to showcase your response? The way to solve these types of problems is to look at 3 original shapes and determine the pattern. The pattern exists for every shape inside the matrix. For example, if you look closely, you will see that arrow rotates counterclockwise. This is probably the easiest pattern to determine. But hey, there are 2 other patterns because there are 2 other shapes. For example, smiley face moves from corner to corner clockwise. And then hexagon rotates alongside the edges counterclockwise and also changes the fill from gray to white. With that in mind, let's determine the final shape. Based on our logic, the arrow should be pointing at 6 o'clock. The hexagon should have white fill and should be in the upper right corner, and smiley face should be on the opposite side of hexagon in the bottom left corner. So the correct answer here is choice A. Let's face it, with this question, it would be helpful to remember the famous quote from Thomas Edison. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. He used this quote to describe his work on inventing the light bulb. And I'm thinking, why don't we approach this question with a mindset of experimentation and resilience, knowing that each attempt brings you closer to finding the right solution. You're presented with 3 triangles. Each triangle has surrounding numbers on the outside and the number in the middle. The first triangle has numbers 1, 2, 3, and then number 7 in the middle. The second triangle has numbers 2, 3, and 4, see the pattern? And then number 14 in the middle. Then the third triangle has numbers 3, 4, and 5. Again, I see the pattern repeating. And then missing number in the middle, which you need to calculate and select out of 4 possible choices. Choice A, 23. Choice B, 27. Choice C, 29. And last but not least, choice D, 37. Time's up. Are you ready to show your answer? For example, in this question, the pattern is that the bottom numbers multiplied with the addition of top number calculate the number in the middle of the triangle. Let's look at the example in the first leftmost triangle. 3 multiplied by 2 plus 1 equals 7. Let's verify this pattern with the middle triangle. 4 multiplied by 3 plus 2 equals 14. And now we can calculate the missing number. 5 multiplied by 4 plus 3 equals 23. So the correct answer here is choice A, 23. Answering this question is like figuring out why your friend always cancels plans at the last minute. It's a little tricky, but once you understand their personality, everything makes sense. Stick with it, and you will crack the code soon. You're presented with the simple question. Which of the following is the synonym for calm? And your choices for the answers are choice A, relaxed, choice B, stressed, choice C, furious, and choice D, anxious. The answer may not be as simple as you think. Take a little time to carefully think through the problem, and I will guide you through the process with simple hints to help you get to the right answer. Ready, set, go. Time's up. Do you have your answer ready? I bet you are, but just in case, let's look at the answer together. To understand human emotional states, let's build a scale. On the one side of the scale, we will have states like calm and relaxed, and on the other side of the scale, we will have states like stressed, furious, and anxious. Let's start by looking at not-so-happy states. Anxious represents feeling worried and uneasy, but not overwhelmingly intense. Stressed, on the other hand, represents experiencing pressure, tension, or mental strain, stronger than anxious. And furious represents intense anger with extreme emotional state far beyond stressed. So if we build a scale of not-so-happy states, anxious would be the lowest, stressed would be in the middle, and furious would be the highest. Now, as we've learned about not-so-happy states, let's learn about happy states, calm and relaxed. Do you know what the definitions are? Why don't we do this? Why don't you put the answers in comments and I'll validate them to give you credit for the correct answers. But for the benefit of this question, we have enough information to conclude what the right answer is. Because both calm and relaxed represent happy states, the correct answer here is choice A, relaxed. But wait, we're not done here, there is more. Here's the question for you to tackle. You're presented with the simple question: which of the following is the opposite of calm? And your choices for the answers are choice A, peaceful, choice B, stressed, choice C, relaxed, and choice D, serene. After you've done selecting your answer, post it in comments and I'll provide you with my feedback. Best of luck with this exciting challenge. Are you ready to practice your skills? Try this question to see how you would do. You're presented with the clock, which shows time as 7:50 p.m. If the clock is set back by 3 hours and 37 minutes, what would be the new time? Your choices for the answers are choice A, 3:43 p.m., choice B, 4:13 p.m., choice C, 4:03 p.m., or choice D, 3:53 p.m. Once you're certain with your answer, post it in comments and I'll give you my feedback. Good luck with this intriguing challenge.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you for helping us to become one of the largest YouTube channels to help people become smarter, increase your IQ, and to pass any test. If the content of this video was helpful, please make sure to click the like button to help YouTube algorithm promote this video and help other people to find it faster. Giving us a like is also a way for you to tell us that you need more content like this, and when you tell us, we will deliver it for you in the future. For links to free and premium resources, please check the description and comments of this video. You can also go directly to our website, howtoanalyzedata.net, to download the materials related to this topic. I really appreciate your endorsement, support, and patronage of this channel. And thank you for considering to become a member and considering to subscribe. Please leave feedback, suggestions, or corrections in comments. And all the best on your journey. I'll see you in my next video.